All right, what's going on, guys? Just getting set up here. Give me a minute. Welcome, guys. I'll get started here in just a second. Sean, thanks for joining. Don, thanks for joining. Just give you guys a second to jump on while I get set up. Mark, thanks for joining. Okay, guys, basically, I'm doing this video. Excuse me. In this video, I'm going to explain a little bit about, what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency mining is. We're going to look at things like hardware, algorithms, just briefly so I can give you an understanding about it. We'll talk about what cloud mining is and how that compares to mining at home. We'll compare some pricing. A few other ideas I have. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here at the moment. We'll talk about how you estimate your earnings with mining, and of course estimating your earnings is rather difficult thing. It's because the conditions are ever so changing, but we'll look at how you do the math anyway, because it's very useful when you're comparing prices from one service to another, or comparing prices between different pieces of hardware if you're going to mine at home. And we'll also talk about mining difficulty. I just wanted to change the order of some of these things. Okay, all right, guys. So basically, okay, what is Bitcoin mining? All right. So, hi, Karen. Thanks for jumping on. Basically, Bitcoin mining. You guys have probably heard of it. Probably, if you're on this video, it's because you're already either participating in cryptocurrency in some way. You probably have quite an investment tied up in it, or maybe you're in a business opportunity related. You could even be in a business opportunity that's related to Bitcoin mining itself. Or other cryptocurrency mining. So mining is simply what we call the term for when you run computer hardware on the a cryptocurrency network and process transactions. So you compute hashing algorithms in order to process and verify transactions, and in turn you either create new coins or you collect the transaction fees for that particular coin, and basically that's what mining is. All right. So quite simply, like I said, you need hardware that connects to the network, so the specialized computer hardware that processes transactions, and you make money for that. Okay. So I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can do that, and I'm gonna start out by talking about a little bit about how you do that at home. Like, what's this hardware like? Actually, if you hang on 1 second, I got an example. I'll be right back. I was going to get this ahead of time, but more or less, guys, this is a Bitcoin miner, all right? This one is particularly outdated, all right? Excuse me. It's particularly outdated. I'll hold it up again, but because I bought it back in 2012 or 2013. So what this is here is what we call, well, this is just a Raspberry Pi connected to it. I'll take that off, actually. Now that it's not dangling around. So it has a Raspberry Pi, and I just have it stuck onto a piece of wood. And this is basically the controller for my Bitcoin miner. I don't run this Bitcoin miner anymore either, mind you, because it's so terribly not profitable. It's just been sitting in the corner. So this is my miner, okay, and this was called the BTC Garden AM2, if I believe I'm right, okay? So it's a piece of hardware, okay, computer hardware. You can see it's got a bunch of computer parts, and you can see, especially since I have a high-def camera now, you can see that it's full of dust. Obviously, I mean, I don't use it. It just sits in the corner collecting dust now. But so basically, this one has 2 hashing boards, and it consumes a hell of a lot of electricity. And this particular one, because it's so old and obsolete, hashes at a rate of 310 gigahashes per second. Okay, so we'll talk about what that kind of means afterward. But basically, guys, This is what a Bitcoin miner is, what it looks like, at least an outdated one. There's other ones we'll look at that are more modern. I'll show you when I do my screen share. That definitely look a lot nicer, definitely a lot more powerful, and they're profitable to run. This particular miner would mine me about 2 to 3 cents worth of Bitcoin every day, and probably cost me about $4 in hydro. So that's why I don't run it, because it's terribly inefficient and not profitable whatsoever. I am full of dust now. That is dirty. So let me just toss that off to the side, guys. But okay, so I used to do Bitcoin mining way back when block rewards were still at 50 Bitcoin, and there was, like the competition was very low. So with this 310 gigahash machine, when I bought it, it was making me like $12 or $15 a day or something like that. I spent $600 on the machine. It was extremely profitable when I started, but then over time there becomes, more competition, and we'll talk about, what hash rates and difficulties and this competition really entails here in a second. But over time we'll get more competition, profitability starts going down, and then your old hardware is no longer profitable, so you have to upgrade to new hardware. Well, I just threw the damn thing in the corner and said I didn't want to do this business anymore, because it's a lot of work to always be updating your hardware all the time, and there's a backlog to order the things. There's just so much hectic things about it. Now, we're going to talk about this as well. I am now again thinking about building a mining rig again, except rather than do it with this type of specialized hardware, I'm going to build my own mining rig out of computer parts, basically. So a bunch of video cards, which we're going to look at again in a second and go over some details. But I was thinking about building one and doing some mining at home. But instead of doing that, at least yet, I decided to go ahead and do some cloud mining with Hashflare, which I'll talk about towards the end of this video. So basically, guys, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do a screen share, and we're going to kind of look at a few things. I'm going to use the Hashflare website as an example to go over some different algorithms. We'll look at a couple of websites that I use for calculating earnings and things like that. Now we'll compare a few prices, look at some hardware, and just kind of generally give you guys a good idea of exactly what goes into mining and planning your mining operation, all right? And again, I'm just winging this video. Generally, when I talk, I know what I'm talking about. I got nothing other than about 10 bullet points written down of topics I want to cover. Let me hit my screen share here, and we'll get right to it. Sean, you're becoming a fan. Right on. Be sure to hit my YouTube and subscribe. Actually, I should have put my YouTube in this video. How about I go ahead and give you guys my YouTube right now, at least for those of you on Facebook. Drop my YouTube in the comments there, guys. Thanks for jumping on, everybody. Christopher, Tyrese, Bim, Natalie, Sean, James, Karen, right on. Let me hit my screen share, and then we'll look at a few other things. Just bear with me here. Just want to pop up my stuff. All right, should be able to see my screen there now. And I was just going to skip over to here. Just going to use the Hashflare website here as an example in order to just kind of assist me in talking about different algorithms and that. A couple other websites I did not pull up yet. Here, how about I do this instead? I'm going to go to a website called coinwires.com. Here, how about I give you guys a link right here. I'll shoot that into the Facebook chat. For those of you on YouTube, I'm not going to skip over there right now. Just coinwires.com is the website I'm looking at, okay? So basically here, if you go to this website, you can take a look yourself, or you can just, watch my screen. It's just coinwars.com. And this is a website that I often use to, calculate profitability of mining. Okay, now again, the profitability depends on, things like the price of the coin you're mining, difficulty of the network, the change in difficulty, cost of your hydroelectricity, things like that, right? So basically what I'm looking at here is these are a whole bunch of different algorithms that you can mine, okay? So there's different algorithms like SHA-256, Script, X11, Quark, Grossel, however you pronounce it, Blake256, Neoscript, Lyra2, Kryptonite, Ethhash, Equihash, and there's actually quite a few others, but these are the most popular ones right here that you would probably be mining. There are a few others, but they're a lot less popular, right? So with these algorithms, what the algorithm is basically, it's just the system that the coding of a particular coin uses, and your hardware needs to be able to process this particular algorithm. And again, like this miner here that I have, it processes a specific algorithm, specifically SHA-256, which happens to be the algorithm for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and quite a few other coins out there. It's just the only two examples I have. But there's a lot of other algorithms, such as, script is a different algorithm, okay? My machine cannot process script algorithm, all right? So you can't just buy a Bitcoin miner and say, hey, I want to mine Litecoin, because Litecoin, right, operates using the script algorithm, okay? So like I can't plug in my miner and mine Litecoin. I have to mine Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, or another coin that uses the SHA-256 algorithm. Then there's other algorithms like X11, which X11 is Dash is one of the coins that use X11, as well as I believe Potcoin. I think Potcoin here. Why don't I just click X11? I'll just hit the button here, calculate, just for the sake of. So what do we got? Okay, so here we go. Ignore where it says Bitcoin. So some coins that use X11 are Dash, like I said. Oh, Cannabis Coin, MUE, Monetary Unit, Start Coin. Okay, those are some coins that use the X11 algorithm. If I uncheck that, we'll look at Quark. I don't know what Quark. Quark has its own coin, doesn't it? Yeah, Quark. Okay, so Quark coin has its own algorithm, all right? There's a whole bunch of other ones. Like, okay, you've heard a lot about Ethereum mining. That's Ethash, ET hash, all right? We'll just check that one out. And so Ethereum and Ethereum Classic are the two coins that use the Ethash algorithm. And there's other ones like Equihash, I believe is Zcash. Zcash, Bitcoin Gold, and Zencash. All right, so anyway, but if you have a Bitcoin miner, you can't mine, Dash. If you have a Dash miner, you can't mine Bitcoin. Okay, you have to have your hardware that mines for a specific cryptocurrency, right? The other alternative, specifically with Ethash and Ethereum mining, is you use graphics cards. So like regular graphics cards that go into a computer, we pick certain ones based on higher performance and lower power usage, right? And then we can mine coins like Ethereum. In theory, we can mine any coin, but it just so happens that most of them are not profitable to use video cards or GPUs with. So here's a great website, guys, that you can use to calculate profitability, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. Okay, but I just wanted to continue on and look at some other hardware. So here's another website, bitmain.com or shop.bitmain.com. What Bitmain is, these are a distributor, a manufacturer and distributor of a whole bunch of different kinds of ASIC, ASIC, which is, shit, I forget here, I'll tell you what it is. Yeah, I don't care about the definition. If you guys want to know the actual definition, I forget exactly what it is. Just go Google ASIC, ASIC. But basically, an ASIC or an ASIC machine is a machine that specifically does one function and nothing else. So like my Bitcoin miner, which I put down there, is a SHA-256 ASIC. All right, so it specifically does the SHA-256 algorithm, and it does absolutely nothing else. It will not mine Litecoin. It will not run Windows. I can't put Linux on it. I can't put games on it. Okay, it mines for SHA-256 coins, and that's it. Does nothing else. So Bitmain is a manufacturer of these ASICs, and they have several different ones for different purposes, okay? One of the most common ones that you guys have heard about all the time is the Antminer S9. An older version would have been the S7. The current one is the S9. And I'm going to look at some of these prices as well, just show you guys exactly what I go through as the mental process. So the Antminer S9 hashes at what we say 13.5 terahashes. I'll explain what hashes are in a second. The Antminer L3 Plus, this one is, L stands for Litecoin, okay? So the Antminer L3 is a script ASIC. Okay, so this particular machine mines only for script coins, which one of them happens to be Litecoin, and I forget the other ones. They have a router that mines Litecoin on the side. If I go up under products, they have some other products that they're currently not selling, one being the Antminer D3. And the D3, that's an X11 miner or a dash miner. They have a T9, which is it's just a power efficient version, supposed to be a power efficient version of the S9. In my opinion, it actually sucks. And they've had a lot of other models over time, all right? Now, if you notice something kind of interesting, sold out, sold out, sold out, okay? The only things you can buy are power supplies right now, okay? So they're all sold out. One of the challenges with buying these machines is that you have to order them, okay? You see they're sold out and they're shipping in March. Okay, so they sold them already. They sold them back in December, and they're not shipping them until March. Same thing with these, okay, shipping in March. And they sold them back in November, and I think the L3 was in November that they sold this. Don't quote me on that, all right? So one of the challenges with getting a hold of these machines is that you need to order them 4 and 5 months ahead of time and wait for delivery. So by the time it gets here, your profitability drops. And it's such a hassle. And that's the biggest reason that I got out of mining at home, all right, was just the hassles of getting hardware and just how fast they become outdated. So you're always overpaying, right? So there's your, choices of hardware. Of course, you got to get, a power supply with that. So I'm going to do a little bit of math here with you guys right now about let's say we're going to buy an Antminer S9 and we want to know the profitability of it, right? So 13.5 terahashes, okay? When you're looking at miners, one of the things you want to look at, same thing with cloud mining, what you're looking at is a hash rate, okay? So the hash rate, you're looking for something like this, this is 504 mega hashes, this is 13.5 terahashes. So of course, hashes is the base unit. A mega hash is 1,000 hashes. A kilohash is 1,000 hashes. A mega hash is 1,000 kilohashes. A gigahash is 1,000 mega hashes. A terahash is 1,000 gigahashes. And then a petahash would be 1,000 terahashes. And then an exahash would be 1,000 petahashes. And a yottahash would be 1,000 exahashes, and so on. They're Latin terms, Latin prefixes for counting. Just like a meter, a kilometer, things like that, right? So same prefixes. But anyway, so this particular miner is 13.5 terahashes. Suppose we wanted to calculate our profitability, right? So anyway, we know what it's going to cost. It's going to be $2,320 to buy the thing. We're going to have to get a power supply. It's $105. We're going to have to pay, I think it's $130 for shipping. Off the top of my head, last time I checked out their shipping pricing. So, I mean, all in all, you're $2,600 in. Okay, so 13.5 terahashes. Let's go back over here to our profit calculator on CoinWars. All right, so the Antminer S9, the one we're looking at, 13.5 terahashes, okay, is a SHA-256 miner. So we'll make sure SHA-256 is selected, and we'll deselect everything else. And it is 13.5 terahashes. So 135. So that's 13,500 gigahashes, right? Because there are 1,000 gigahashes in a terahash. So we put in 13,500. It uses, let's take a look at something else, guys. I'm going to show you something else that kind of sucks. Now, in order to power this, you need a power supply. This one over here, okay? Let's just click learn more, because we need to look at something. We need to know how much power we're going to burn, because there's a cost associated with this, okay? So this power supply powers a 1 S9, a 1 L3, or a 1 D3, okay? So we're right now we're hypothetically buying an S9 and we're calculating our profitability. So we need to know how much power we're going to burn. So this is the power supply we use. Now read this carefully, guys, okay? Power cord is not included, so there's another $10, okay? We need one that will be at least 10 amps, okay? And if you're powering on 110 volt, that's 20 amps. If you don't know much about electrical engineering, just do some reading about that. Now, this power supply can deliver a maximum power of only 1,200 watts if it's connected to a 110 volt mains power supply. To obtain the rated power of 1,600 watts, okay, 1,600 watts, the power supply must be connected to a 220 to 240 mains power supply, okay? Now, let me tell you this, guys, all right, because I already looked into this. The Antminer S9 uses somewhere around 1500 watts of power. So you cannot even power it on regular 110 volt. So, I mean, if you're in Europe, great, no problem. If you're in Australia, great, no problem. Most of the Middle East, Asia, they're all using 220 volt power. Those of us in North America, USA, and Canada, your standard power is 110 volt. So automatically, if you want to start running these miners at home, you got to call an electrician and you got to get wired in for some 220 volt circuits, all right? And in order to be able to get your 1600 watt power supply to work, okay? So we're running 1600 watts, let's say. We'll even say 1500 at the wall, whatever. Let's just put in 1500 watts. Okay, and then I don't know what your power is worth. Of course, this is going to be a variable number depending on where you live. Now, where I live, they charge me more in the daytime and less at night. I'm like 18 cents a kilowatt in the day, and I'm about 9 kilowatts or 10 cents a kilowatt at night. So I'm going to pick a nominal value. Let's go 14 cents per kilowatt, and this will tell us what our profitability would be. So now we'll hit calculate. Okay, go down. Of course, here we have some coins. Now you see Pure Coin right now, it's has a very inflated value of, we're mining at 190% above what Bitcoin is. The way they calculate this, okay, Bitcoin is what they call 100%, and they compare the other coins to Bitcoin. So right now, mining Bitcoin Cash is more profitable than Bitcoin and things like that, okay? But if you want to look at a more long-term average, you're going to want to be looking at what the profitability of mining Bitcoin is, because I guarantee you guys, PureCoin, even though it says right now you'll make $40 a day, within the next day or 2 days, this will be back down at the bottom. It's just because of the competition on the network may have decreased, or the difficulty decreased, things like that, okay? So, or the price of the coin recently made a jump. Now, if the price made a jump, which it did, we can see here, eventually the difficulty will make a jump because all the miners are going to switch over there, right? So for long-term profits, short-term profits, fine. If you want to go and mine PureCoin for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, sure, you're going to make $40 a day for the next couple of days. And then profitability is going to drop. Long-term profits are always going to average about where Bitcoin is. So for your investment of, buying an S9 and all that, you're going to make about $20 a day. Okay? That's what one S9 will make you at current Bitcoin prices. Of course, Bitcoin price is down. Other things we got to factor in is that the price of Bitcoin might go up. Okay, the difficulty might go up or down. Things like that will affect your daily profitability. But as far as today goes, this is how you would calculate your daily profitability, today, without factoring in price increase, things like that. So those are variables that you got to just kind of mentally take into account. Now, again, if Bitcoin, goes back to $20,000 tomorrow, we'll be adding another third. We'll be making like $30 a day or something. But those are factors that we can't predict. So when we're going to compare one piece of hardware to another, all we do is just look at the current price, the values we know, and calculate what it would make, today, and sort of extrapolate that over time, right? So about 20 bucks a day. So we look at that. Let me go back over to the shop here. So what did we say? An S9 is 2320, and we got 105 for a power supply, and it was about 130 bucks for shipping. Last time I checked, I did make an invoice back in the fall anyway. I was going to buy a D3, and then I decided not to do it. But so basically there it is, guys. You got to put in about $2,500, and you're going to make $20 a day basically, okay? So that's basically how you do the math. Now let's say you're going to buy an Antminer L3. All right, it's 504 mega hashes. Go back over here. The L3 is a script miner. Again, all you got to do is click on it and go read the details of the miner. It'll tell you what it does, all right? And it was 504 mega hashes, so 50400 0, because this is measured right here. It says kilohashes, so we need 504,000 kilohashes. Let me just double check that. 504 mega hash, yes, okay. And then again, it uses the same power supply, so it's 1500 watts, and I'm about 14 cents a kilowatt. Calculate profitability, and we look at this, and the best coin, which right now is pumped up pretty high. Look at a lot of these, even Digibyte's pretty high, but look at that. I mean, the most profitable one is $20 a day. where Litecoin is, again, ignore Bitcoin because it just always shows up there. And it gives you a comparable value in Bitcoin. But look at Litecoin, only $12 a day, right? So it's very important that when you're going to, invest in a miner, you want to investigate what your profitability is going to be, mining that with that particular hardware on that particular coin, and so on. So, I mean, $12 a day. And again, you get other coins that will spike, Argcoin, a Digibyte that are, in the, $18 to $20 a day range. But again, these aren't steady. You see these recently had a pump in price. That's why they're so profitable right now. Whereas you look at Litecoin, the price is, a little bit of a more nominal value. The difficulty actually just decreased, and it's still only making $12, $13 a day, all right? So just know that before you buy a hardware, before you invest in mining, you want to investigate. You're going to do some math on that. You want to know what kind of returns you're getting, okay? So there's something. Again, like I was saying, if you wanted to do Ethereum-based mining, we use like graphics cards, all right? From like, I'm a NVIDIA guy. You can check out AMD cards too if you like, but I happen to be a NVIDIA guy. So, I mean, there's a lot of cards you can get. Like, here's a GeForce 1080 Ti at $700. I'll tell you right now, it's less profitable to use this than other cards. Look down. Here's something very, very interesting, guys. See this? Out of stock. Notify me. So it's out of stock right now. You notify you when it's in stock. Out of stock. Out of stock. Do you know why these are in stock? Because they're profitable to run. I can actually, the 1080 Ti is out of stock too. They're all out of stock, guys. Okay, but yeah, they're out of stock a lot. Okay, but the one, if you're gonna build a GPU rig, a home mining rig, right? Probably your best bet, instead of getting one of these ASICs from Bitmain and having to get 220 power, okay, you're probably better off where I go. In order to get, build a computer with a whole bunch of these GTX 1070 graphics cards. I say 1070s because they're mathematically most profitable, right? They're only $400 instead of, like $600. And they use a lot less power than 1080s and 1080 Ti's. Ti's use like 30% more power. I just happen to know a lot of these things about these cards because I'm in this space. Again, I encourage you, if you were gonna start mining at home and build your own rig, you're gonna want to go and research all this stuff for yourself, not just believe everything I say. So I'm considering building a rig. I'm gonna start with 6 of these cards. All right, it is essentially what I was gonna do. Now I know these cards produce approximately 30 mega hashes, all right, on the Ethereum algorithm. Okay, so they're about $400. Of course, they're out of stock. I found them on Best Buy for $429. Okay, that's the 1070 Founders Edition. Okay, not a TI model, but the 1070. Now I happen to know that this particular card, okay, for $400 produces 30 mega hashes. All right, it's actually, you can tweak it because there's so much customizability when you're running your own mining rig at home. You can get anywhere between 27 and 32 mega hashes. So I'm just going to go nominally at 30, and let's just take a look at a profitability. All right, so actually 30 is already in here. It's approximately 120 watts on that card. I just happen to know that because I know some things about it. And we'll hit calculate, and that's 120 at the wall. So so there we go. Look at that, $4 a day. All right, so right there, we're see, this is actually good because this card's only $400. Okay, $430, and it's going to produce $4.27 a day. Okay, so that's 10%, guys. Right, that's why I want to set up a GPU mining rig instead of these ASICs, because I can run this with 110 volt power. All right, you just get, you don't need necessarily huge power supplies. You can have 2 power supplies, 3 power supplies, 4 power supplies, right? And just run different cards on different power supplies. I can run it all on 110 volt power. I just got to have multiple circuits, which is not hard to do. I can wire all this myself. I can do the 220 myself too. But to me, this makes a whole lot more sense. And the profitability is so much greater in home mining. Okay, so mining at home, guys, basically the way I'm doing it, I want to build my own rig with graphics cards such as the NVIDIA GTX 1070. All right, so that's enough about hardware, I guess. Yeah, actually, I read Bitcoin Talk forum, and I did confirm with the Antminer S9 that you cannot run it on 110 volt power unless you use 2 power supplies. Okay, and you're gonna, or a very large 110 volt power supply. There are a couple of them, but you need to specifically wire a 20 amp circuit at 110 volt, whereas most standard outlets are only 15 amp circuits. Okay, so if you plug in one of these massive power supplies into a regular household outlet, you're going to do one of two things, whichever comes first. Either one, you're going to blow breakers, or two, you're going to light your house on fire, whichever comes first. And it is inevitable that you will do one of those two things if you're going to run this at 110 volt. All right, so I'm telling you guys, if you want to get into this kind of stuff with ASIC hardware mining, you're going to have to call an electrician and get some, proper power wired up. I don't recommend doing it yourself unless you know what you're doing. Overspec, like generally you use 12 gauge wiring for a 20 amp circuit. So I'd probably use freaking 10 gauge wiring. That way there, you can deliver a lot of power to that circuit, right? So anyway, enough about that. Something else I want to talk about was difficulty. Okay, here's another website. Actually, a really good reason to get into mining now and get prepared for it is that difficulty is expected to go down. So what difficulty is in mining is like it's a difficulty factor on the algorithm. Okay, so of course, well, I don't know if you know, but let's take the Bitcoin algorithm, the SHA-256 Bitcoin algorithm as a guide. Now, Bitcoin operates that a block time is supposed to stay right near 10 minutes. It's supposed to take 10 minutes to mine a block, and a new block is supposed to be mined every 10 minutes. And anytime that blocks are being mined faster than 10 minutes, then Bitcoin difficulty, the mining difficulty, will get increased in order to slow down block generation, okay? And then anytime, like right now, where a block is taking an average of 13.7 minutes, 3 blocks is taking 41 minutes, so it's above 10 minutes per block. That's when we can expect that the difficulty will go down. So current build difficulty is 1.5 trillion, and it's expected to go down to 1.3 trillion, or approximately decreased by 16.49%. Now, automatically what that means is that blocks start getting mined 16% faster, okay? And then also your earnings would be expected to increase by about 16.5% as well, until more competition returns to the Bitcoin, returns to Bitcoin mining, okay? So difficulty is a very important thing. So this website is bitcoinwisdom.com. Actually, I'll give you guys that right in the Facebook chat. All right, there's, did it go? Bitcoin Wisdom, that's the website I'm on. Right, but you can track difficulty here, okay? So anytime, basically, when there's more competition, blocks start getting generated faster, and then difficulty gets increased to slow it down, and then profitability goes down. And anytime that competition leaves, like right now, there's more people mining Bitcoin Cash than Bitcoin. So there's less competition in Bitcoin. So, and there's less miners in Bitcoin. So blocks are being generated slower. So difficulty will go down. That way they're, again, profitability goes up and blocks start getting mined faster. So it's something that's built into the Bitcoin algorithm in order to just keep the whole system running at the same pace, keep transactions getting processed at or about the same pace, and things like that. So that's a great website that you guys can use. I think I've been over all those. And then, like, the other thing, let me just check my notes here quick, see if I'm missing anything. That's not what I want. So what is hardware algorithms? I was going to talk about estimating your earnings, talked about difficulty. So cloud mining, we'll look at cloud mining. Why Hashflare, why I'm using Hashflare. We'll compare some prices between Hashflare and Bitmain. And I'm going to talk about compounding as well, and why I'm compounding and how that compares to if you were hardware mining. So basically, guys, here's the website that I'm mining at, okay? I'm not mining with hardware at home, again, because of the difficulties that I've basically covered in this entire video. Of just kind of why mining sucks. Kind of it's a business, and you guys got to know the business if you're going to get into it. If you want the easy way out, it's still extremely profitable. You know, it's very low risk. It's not like, you know, extremely like you're gonna get rich quick. Like you're gonna buy an ICO for $50 and walk away with $100,000 in a year. Mining doesn't work like that. Mining is a steady income, not a get rich quick scheme. Okay. So anyway, I'm mining at Hashflare, and I put the link to Hashflare in the description of this video. So if you'd like to check it out, join me. Okay. So cloud mining is basically when you buy hashing from another source. Okay, so Hashflare, they have a whole bunch of miners that are already set up in a data center. They happen to be located in Estonia, and you can buy hashing power or rent hashing power from Hashflare, right? And you earn Bitcoin for as if you were running that hardware yourself. Okay, so they charge you a small fee for running it for you, and basically here's what it works out to, guys. All right, so here again, there's the different algorithms. You can do script cloud mining, you can do SHA-256 cloud mining, and they have other ones. They have Ethereum, so they have Ethash mining, they have Equihash mining, and X11 mining. All right, so I mean, I did the math on a lot of this, and I encourage you to do the math on this. You know, in order to find what is most profitable. But you can see here, let's just take SHA-256 as an example, okay? SHA-256, of course, that's for mining a Bitcoin. So we have a price here, okay? $2.20 per 10 gigahashes, all right? So let's just extrapolate that to a terahash, okay? Because it's just a lot easier to talk in terahashes. So we're $2.20, let me move this out of the way, okay, per 10 gigahashes. So if we went multiplied by 10, it would be per 100 gigahashes, or multiplied by 100, and that would give us what it costs for 1,000 gigahashes, or 1 terahash. So times 100, so we're $220 per terahash, okay? Let's write that down, right? Let me just write that down, guys. So Hashflare price, HF price per TH. TH for terahash, okay? Or it's actually terahash per second, so THS. Okay, let's write that down. Now let's compare it to Bitmain, all right? So Bitmain, what did I say? We're 2320, all right? Is what it cost us for the miner. Right? Now, we need a power supply. It's $105. Supposing that you're going to do it on 220 power and use this power supply, okay? And then shipping, last time I did an invoice with Bitmain, it was $130. Okay? Now you got to do wiring. Okay? So I'm not even going to factor in what the freaking electrician is worth, but let's bank on what's it going to cost you, $200 worth of wiring and shit like that in order to get set up. So let's say $200 worth of wiring. If you got to hire an electrician, add that cost in here too, okay? And this miner is at 13.5 terahashes, all right? So divide by 13.5. So here it is. It's $204 for a terahash. Let's write that down. Okay, Bitmain, or let's put S9 is 204 per terahash. Okay. Now, Hashflare start mining in 24 hours. Okay? S9, if you order this from Bitmain, okay, here's the thing. You order this from Bitmain, what did I say? 3 to 4, sometimes 5 months for delivery. Start mining in 5 months. Wow. Okay, guys? So there's the difference. Slight increase in cost, okay, for a whole lot of savings and convenience, all right? Because, guys, here's the problem. If it's going to take you 5 months for your miner to get here, what's the difficulty adjustment going to be by then? What's the price of Bitcoin going to be? What's the competition going to look like, all right? And overall, those three things tell you what the profitability is going to be like in 5 months. The thing with cloud mining and getting started with Hashflare, you start within 24 hours, okay? And you know what your profitability is going to be in 24 hours. You know you're going to start earning now, not start earning in 5 months, all right? So that is the biggest reason that I recommend cloud mining if you're going to do Bitcoin mining instead of, buying hardware, okay? Unless you have a shitload of money and you're going to get yourself a super wicked deal or something. Like if you're going to spend millions of dollars, yeah, okay, buy hardware. But otherwise, you're going to save a hell of a lot on convenience by just getting some hashing at Hashflare. So anyway, so basically so it's cheap. It's a little bit cheaper to get your own hardware, but of course, convenience is here. You start mining within 24 hours. Now, I did the math before. I'm not going to do it all right now because they have all the different algorithms. I did tell you guys that Ethereum cloud mining, I said this in another video, I would never do Ethereum cloud mining. And the Zcash and Dash cloud mining, their prices are just way too high. Okay, and the profitability just isn't there. On Hashflare, the Script and SHA-256 cloud mining are both very profitable, at least last time I did the math, but SHA-256 was the higher profitability than Script, okay? So I recommend if you're going to get involved in Hashflare, okay, just go ahead, just stick with SHA-256 cloud mining and just only get Script if they're sold out of SHA-256, right? So there you go, guys. Like there's a price comparison there between the two. What else did I want to cover? Yeah, oh, here's the other thing, guys. Here, how about I just go into my account right now? Here's my Hashflare account. Here, I'll just do a refresh. Earnings are 11 p.m. or midnight in Eastern time, so I won't have today's earnings to show you. Oh, I do have something. What did I get? That must be a commission. Let's check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yep, I got another commission. Yeah. All right, cool. So how about I'll do a rebuy with you guys right now. So that's what I got for a commission. Again, so I'm sitting at 10.64 terahashes right now, and there's a revenue forecast over here. This gives me an approximate idea. What did we say? 13.5 terahashes was $20 a day. So I got 10.64. I'm doing $18 a day. Yeah, it's pretty close calculator, so that's good. That's good. Of course, it gives you also the BTC value, so I'm doing about 0.0013 Bitcoin per day. That's what I'm getting. It cost me $2,200, and I've compounded some in. So yeah, literally, guys, here's one of the other things about hardware mining, okay? Here, I'll just go back there. The problem with hardware mining, okay? So it costs you $2,300 and $2,320 to get an Antminer, right? Now, when you want to compound your earnings, you got to wait until you have $2,320 and then get another Antminer. See, the thing with Hashflare, and I'm going to do it right now, is that I have 0.002, so I got like, what's that, like $50 worth of Bitcoin. I can compound right now. So 0.00216, 0.002. Oh, I guess it's a lot less. Oh, that's about $30. Yeah, about $30, right? So anyway, right there. So I'm going to buy another 130 gigahashes worth of hashing right now. So it's about $28.60. 0.00214. So yeah, I can cover that. Hit proceed and select payment method, pay from balance, and I confirm. Boom. Let's wait for that to go through. And there we go. So now I got 10.77 terahashes, all right? And revenue forecast just will not change until I actually have another earning. Okay, so 10.77 terahashes, guys, right there. And that's how easy it is to compound your earnings in it, right? Now, the thing is, I told you guys, I have a goal. I want to be at 100 terahashes within 3 months. Okay, so I'm not going to get there just by compounding. Obviously, I'm going to put some more money into this, but I fully intend on being at 100 terahashes within 3 months, all right? So, I mean, that's one of the biggest reasons right there that I love just cloud mining with Hashflare, is because I can just compound my earnings in any time. I'm not looking at, Hashflare for any kind of short-term earnings. I'm not planning on taking any earnings out of Hashflare for at least 6 months. Maybe a little bit after I'm at 100 terahashes, I'll start taking out, some kind of daily return. But I intended on letting it go for 6 months. Okay, and then start pulling out a return and start putting some money back into my pocket because, obviously I like money. The idea is to be profitable, right? So, yeah, guys, not a get-rich-quick scheme, not an MLM, not a pyramid scheme. Commission structure in this is just direct sales, 10%. That's it. There's no multi-level. All right, no schemes, no scams. They've been in business since 2013. I've known about them since about 2013. I just never participated in Hashflare because, again, I was doing my mining at home, and then I got into other avenues of earning revenue. So, but yeah, now I'm going hard with Hashflare, guys. I think that was everything I wanted to cover. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll just switch back to my camera here, and then I'll take questions from YouTube and from Facebook, and talk about a few things. But guys, I'm very, very much serious about cloud mining with Hashflare. Okay, very, very serious about this. I'm building this up. I'm going to make 6 figures a year with Hashflare, and I'm going to do this very, very soon. Just go ahead and switch back to my camera. Okay. Okay, so anyway, guys, you guys got any questions out there? Well, Frank's got a question. He says, how much will 100 terahashes give you? So if 10 terahashes gives me about $18 a day, then 100 terahashes should give me about $180 a day. And of course, that depends on the price of Bitcoin, difficulty at that time. So $180 a day, something like that. And that's based on, you know, current prices, calculating based on, you know, the, you know, current prices, right? Any other questions, guys? I'm just scanning questions here in the chats. Oh, actually, I should show you guys a couple other things here. Let me switch back to my screen. Yeah, one of the other things about mining at home, you got a learning curve, okay? You end up here. I'm just going to open this file. So you got to set up your miner. So you got to download a miner. I'm using CC Miner. You got to get one that works for your particular graphics card. So I'm using NVIDIA, so that's why I use CC Miner. There's also Claymore's miner, which some of them do work with NVIDIA. Some of them are only for AMD. And then you got to set it up. You know, you got to get your settings. It's not that it's difficult, but you got to do your research so you know how to connect. So you need CC Miner. You need to know your options. Get your Stratum address to hook to your pool. Your username. Sometimes it's a username. Sometimes it's an address. This one's actually set up for Electroneum. Okay. And then, hey, bear with me. I'm going to start it up. I'm going to start the miner. But if because it uses my graphics card, and I also use my graphics card for streaming, my stream might freeze here for a second, so bear with me. But I'm just going to test this and show you what a miner actually looks like. So I'm just starting up the miner. It might not even go because I'm streaming right now. Could just crash my whole stream as well. Yeah, so this one I'm set up here. This one's set up on mining Electroneum. I don't actually mine, all right, but I had this set up when Electroneum came out. So it comes out, I'm mining at 208 hashes per second, which is down a little bit because I'm streaming. It's taking some of my stuff. So basically, this is a miner, guys. You set up a computer, you open up CC Miner or Claymore's Miner or whatever freaking miner you're using, you run it, and then this goes on all day. It runs up. You can see I'm 54 degrees Celsius right now, and my fan's running at 20%. If I let this run for about 10 minutes, this is going to jump to about 80 degrees, and my fan will be spinning at 100%, and I'll be causing a whole bunch of wear and tear on my computer for nothing. So that's one of the other challenges of mining at home. Okay, when you own your own hardware and you're mining at home, okay, you've got your hardware set up at home. You got your miners over there. They're creating a bunch of heat. They're burning a bunch of electricity. So often what happens is, I mean, you have risk of fire. Okay, is one thing. So that's one factor. You have hardware failure that could happen. Remember, you're running your hardware at 100%. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? So hardware failure is quite possible. When hardware fails, it could light on fire, right? So those two things could go together. There's a reason that these data centers have like mad fire suppression, things like that, okay? So there's risks associated with mining at home. Of course, you get hardware failure. That's garbage now. You can't sell it. It can't make you money. So you pay $400 for a video card and it dies. That's $400 down the drain. Right, so that's something else you got to factor into your mining operation as well. One of the other reasons why I absolutely love cloud mining. Okay, so any other questions out there, guys? Because I think that's pretty well everything I wanted to cover. No questions? I'm just checking my various chats for questions. Yeah, if there's no questions, got a bunch of inboxes. All right, guys, if there's no questions, I'll just go ahead and wrap up this video. All right, guys, no questions coming in. All right, so guys, get signed up for Hashflare. Let's get started, okay? It's a great long-term revenue, okay? It's great to add, you know, some mining into your portfolio, even if you're trading right now. Like I say, like I've said a million times before, one of the biggest reasons I'm getting into mining is because it's a much more secure form of income. It's much less risk than, you know, my main source of income, which is trading. I mean, I freaking, with the, you know, the way the markets went in the last 24 hours, like I'm down quite a bit. I had to exit the market at one point in order to protect my capital, buy back in. Still not going that great yet. Give it a couple of days, I'll be back in the money. But it's risk, right? Trading is such a high risk. With mining, the risk is much lower, and that's why I'm putting some mining into my portfolio to decrease my risk and give myself, you know, some more steady, you know, quote unquote guaranteed revenue instead of my trading, which is, you know, hit or miss. Sometimes you're wrong and you lose a bunch of money, right? So what's your thought on Bitcoin Lifter? I seen Jamie promoting Bitcoin Lifter. I know nothing about it. If you want to know about Bitcoin Lifter, you're gonna have to talk to Jamie. I thought it was you know, just another marketing thing, but I don't know anything about it. So I would have to look at Bitcoin Lifter here. I mean, I can take a look at it right now. I want to know what it is. What is Bitcoin Lifter? Is it bitcoinlifter.com? %, automated system that pays you, get started, extra Bitcoins and payout. It doesn't say what they do. Join the pre-launch. Well, basically, here's what I know about it. There's absolutely zero information on their website, so they doesn't say what they do. Oh, cloud mining network. So they must do mining. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you anything about it because in order to know anything about Bitcoin Lifter, I'm gonna need details. I need numbers. I've been, you know, comparing different cloud mining organizations with each other. I looked at BitClub versus Hashflare. I looked at a bunch of other ones. A whole bunch of people were inboxing me, getting me to give them an opinion on their cloud mining operation, you know, our different cloud mining companies. And what I found so far is that Hashflare is still one of the most competitively priced, best priced cloud mining services out there. So that's, you know, another one of the main reasons why I recommend Hashflare. So if that's it, guys, I'll go ahead. I'm going to jump off this video. And of course, if you're joining me late, then just go ahead and check out the replay, which will be available on my Facebook wall as well as on my YouTube. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here. I gotta go make another coffee because I'm a coffee fiend, and it prevents me from drinking too much beer. So I'm gonna go make a coffee. I'm gonna sit back, probably watch a bit of TV, check out some charts, see if I make some trades tonight. A couple hours. I gotta do another rebuy at midnight when my earnings come in from Hashflare. And yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your day or night or wherever you are in the world, and remember to stay profitable.